Thank you for tuning in to The Aligned Operator by BellaConnections. If today's conversation inspired you, share it with a fellow entrepreneur who's ready to grow with more focus and less chaos. Remember, scaling your business doesn't have to mean losing balance. It just takes clarity, consistency, and connection. To learn more or connect with our community, visit us at BellaConnections.com. Thanks so much. Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. We have the incredible Warren West, copywriter here, who's going to be talking to us all about his Upwork success and secrets, how he's been able to, within a week go on and land some gigs. He's in the top 1% of writers on there. It's been a great way for him to build his business over the last 4+ years outside of just typical job boards and LinkedIn and all the other places. So Warren, thank you so much for being here. I'm super excited for this and grateful for you sharing this.
Of course. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to spread some knowledge today. I really appreciate it.
Heck yeah, it's gonna be really good, guys. Like Warren's a awesome person. I'm sure you've seen him around Facebook. He's a great copywriter, full-time freelancer for over 4 years now, and a freelance coach. I've heard really good feedback from his clients and people who have worked with him. He just goes above and beyond. He's written for some of the biggest brands and continues to mentor beginner and experienced freelancers alike. So we're really grateful to have you here, and I appreciate you doing this.
Of course. Thanks, Michelle, and welcome, guys. I'm going to talk today about primarily Upwork. This is, again, like Michelle said, it's for beginners and it's for intermediate, people that have never been on the platform, or people that have been on it and gave up, or people that, have had some success and they want to have more success. So if it's cool, I'll just share my screen and we can get started.
Let's do it.
Awesome. And then, of course, guys, if you have any questions, pop them in chat. At the end, I'm sure we could set up some time. I'll just hang out for some Q&A if you have questions. But as we go, if something comes up, you can just pop it in chat, and I will most likely address it. This call will be about an hour, hour-ish. And yeah, cool. Let me just share my screen here.
And Warren does have some really good mentorship programs and stuff too that you're welcome to join. But he's offering to share this with us for free for a month, and it's some really great value. So I hope you guys take advantage of this. So thank you.
Yes, of course. Yes. If you have any questions, you can just hit me up on Facebook. But yeah, this recording will be available to you. And this is literally everything I teach in my group. We're going to go over everything. I'm not holding anything back here. This is you're going to get it all. So what I'm doing is just kind of jumping into my videos, and I'll be kind of scrubbing around and talking about it almost like a slide, like their slides. So just bear with me. Okay, so in chat, if you could, let me know if you have you heard of Upwork? If you have, just put a 1 in chat. Or if you haven't, put a 2 in chat. I just want to find out who here is familiar with Upwork, and then I'll know if I need to spend any time at all on it. Okay, 111. Okay, everyone's familiar with Upwork. Good. That's great. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on Upwork, but on what Upwork is, because but I do want to say that even today, 2024, Upwork is still the best place, the easiest place to find good quality clients, freelance clients. 100%. I will argue anyone on that point. People love to complain about Upwork. I'm sure you've heard people, if you've been to Reddit, I mean, that's just a cesspool of complaining anyway, but they have nothing but negative things to say about Upwork, primarily around the bidding system. You have to pay money to apply to gigs. But it's true. You do need a little bit of money to have success on Upwork, but it's so worth it, because you're not doing cold outreach. You're not like LinkedIn. You're not like Instagram DMing 100 clients to get 2 maybes, right? And Upwork literally brings clients to you. They tell you exactly what they need, and they have cash in hand to give you. It's cake. It's so cake. The part where people get stuck is the process, sending proposals, that get opened and get read and start conversations and negotiating the prices and, delivering the work is probably the easiest part. But that's what we're going to go over today. Everything that I did to, again, just brief background. Copywriting and freelancing is kind of my second career. I was in sales for a long time. And then when COVID happened, I lost my job. And just so happened to be right after I bought a house, and just so happened to be right after I got married, and just so happened to be right before my wife told me she was pregnant with twins. So the pressure was on. And like a good, man, I didn't tell anyone I lost my job. I just kept it to myself. And I was like, I'm going to figure this out. I threw myself into freelancing, threw myself into Upwork, and within, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, I was making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. And I said, holy shit, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. So that's what I've been doing since 2021 full time. And yeah. Okay. So again, I'm just going to kind of scrub through here. Can you guys see this? Okay. Is it big enough? Should I full screen it? Is it even on the screen at all? Yeah. The pressure creates success. Okay, cool. You can see. All right. Let me know if you want me to maximize or anything. Okay. So this just kind of talks about Upwork and creating your profile. I'm going to go pretty quickly through this because if you're already on Upwork or familiar, this is not going to be anything you're not familiar with.
Warren, real quick, can you make it
yes.
full screen?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, so setting up Upwork, really the technical side is get your profile to 100%. That's important for the algorithm, and it just tells you what to do in order to do that, right? Another thing to do is give yourself a reasonable rate. So $150 an hour is kind of high, but you don't want to set it too low either. I think a lot of beginning freelancers set their rates too low, and that really hurts you. We'll go over that a little bit more in detail in another slide. But, I did the same thing. You're starting out, I'll put $15 an hour. The problem with that is there's two. One, there's a million freelancers on Upwork that charge nothing. It's a race to the bottom, essentially. And even if you're the fastest, you win a shitty trophy. Like, it's not even a race you want to be in. So the answer is not to be in that race. Price yourself higher, even if you're new, $35 an hour, $30 an hour minimum. You're going to elevate your status just by, the psychological, whatever, perceived value is what it's called. It's essentially like if I sold you a gym workout program and it was $5, you would be like, okay, cool. And you would never do it. And then you'd be like, that kind of sucked. If I sell the exact same program to someone else for $5,000, they're going to be like, fuck, I'm doing this every day. I'm sticking with it. I paid $5,000. I'm not fucking around. And they're going to see results. And they're going to say that program kicked ass. Nothing changed but the price. So this is like profile creation stuff. I can come back to this. It's not super. I really want to talk more about psychology and the stuff that's going to really move the needle for you.
Hey, Ron, just so you know, we're only seeing the screen that talks about Upwork proposal system. So I'm not sure if you're looking at another one.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's totally wrong. Okay, let me fix it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I'm like, let's try this. All right, do you see the 4 elements now?
Yep, looks good.
Cool, thank you. And yes, please just interrupt me whenever something stupid is happening. Okay, yeah, so I think I'm just going to this is profile stuff. If you guys want me to come back and talk about creating profiles, I can do that. I don't think it's super awesome right now. It looks bad to hire. Yeah, Michelle, it looks bad to hiring manager because you cheapen yourself and your work. Exactly my point. All right, let's go on to the next one. Oh, this is really cool. You guys are going to like this. This is a mentality thing that a lot of people have told me that it really kind of opened up an idea for them. It's called climbing the money ladder. And the way it works on Upwork is, this is just like a kind of a made up case study. Here's Emmy. She's a graphic designer. She has no professional experience. She's getting started on Upwork. And this is Adam. He's a web designer. He's had like a full-time in-house job, and maybe he's transitioning to check out what freelancing is all about. So the way the Upwork money ladder works is when you're first starting out, you may need to take some kind of like lower paying gigs. When I started, it was literally like $10 gigs, $20 gigs, because you want to get the credibility going. If you have no reviews on your profile, that's important. You want to start getting those 5-star reviews. Once you have 3, 4, 5 of them, it's not even an issue. People will just look and say, oh, this person knows how the platform works. They know how to deliver good work. And so you're going to get a lot more, you're going to have a lot more success there once you have a few under your belt. So whatever it takes. The idea is you want to keep increasing your rates as you go. So look for those $20 gigs, land a couple, now 50, now 150, now 300, now 750. And that's exactly what I did. And it works. It's kind of like your confidence builds as you do the thing. You've said, okay, well, I've kind of done that thing, so I'm comfortable with it. And when it's time to go for a similar gig, I have experience, I'm more confident, and I can charge more, and people will pay more. So just by doing that, you can build, 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 build. You can see this gig I had was 2,600, and that was at that time the most money I'd ever seen for a single gig. So this just kind of is showing like, look, if you're a freelancer and you haven't had much experience, you may start out low. If you, like this guy who worked in-house as a web designer for 10 years, a full-time corporate ladder bullshit job, he can probably start higher. And, he may be able to start charging $100 an hour because of his experience. But yeah, that's the idea. You get your first gig, you get your next gig, you get your next gig, and the budget, you can see that it goes up and up and up and up. Now, I've talked to people, I've helped people, I've coached people who have started out and landed like a $2,000 gig straight out of the gate. It's totally happened. I've had people land like full-time jobs on Upwork, like their first time out, and it's insane. That's not like normal, but I mean, it's possible. So that's how you kind of make your way up the money ladder. And then Upwork Vision is kind of I hired my full-time assistant after trying her on Upwork for a couple projects. Yeah, Upwork's really great for that. Like there's a lot of enterprise businesses that hire on there, and there's a lot of like solid clients where like you may start out doing one gig. It's almost like a test for them. They see that you're easy to work with, and they see that you deliver quality work, and then it's like you can talk about, they may bring you on for, a retainer role or something, which is, pretty good. Okay. This is something I call, Upwork Vision. And if you're familiar with the platform, you'll know what I'm talking about. But when you go looking for gigs, there's a lot of nonsense, stuff that you really shouldn't be paying attention to. And people get distracted easily. So Upwork Vision kind of puts blinders on you. And I'm going to show you exactly how I look at which projects are going to be good, which gigs I want to apply to, and which ones you don't want to apply to. So number one, what I recommend to people is you can filter, again, because there's just so many jobs on there, you get overwhelmed. You can filter. A couple of filters I recommend are, let's see if okay, so this one, you can see it under client info on the left. It says payment verified. That's an important one. That means that they can pay you. And then the other one is client history. So I typically avoid clients that have never hired on the platform just because they're not familiar with it. There could be issues. You're going to have much more success with someone who's already gone through the whole process of hiring someone on Upwork, paying them. And you can filter that out immediately. So you're only getting people who have experience on the platform, have hired people in the past, and like know the dealio. That's going to help you a lot. Yeah, so there you go. Payment verified, and they've hired people on the platform. So once you do that, you're going to have a much more like curated list to choose from. And what am I talking about here? I forget. Let me just skip forward a little bit. It's been a while. Oh yeah, so yeah, you can see also the reviews. So freelancers give clients reviews. So if clients are dicks or they don't pay, or you know what I mean, like they'll get a bad review, and you can check it just like Amazon, same thing. So you can kind of see, okay, these people are cool, they pay on time, they have a lot of good reviews, they're going to be good to work with. Let's see what else. Oh, client budget. This is a whole nother topic. I'm not sure if I readdress it, but I'll talk about it now for a second because this is another place where a lot of people get hung up on Upwork is they go into a gig and they say, "Oh, the client said they want a 10 email sequence welcome series and they want to pay $20 or something like that, or $5 an hour for landing page design, web design, whatever it is. Like the budget's just like ridiculously low, and so people don't even apply to those gigs, and they're like, oh, this client's an asshole. But what I tell people, it's kind of counterintuitive to most people's logic, is to pretty much completely ignore whatever budget they put in there. Don't even look, like it doesn't even matter. Your goal is, if the project sounds like something you can do and something that sounds cool, and like you're excited and you're like, oh, I could do this. This sounds really cool. That's the most important thing. You want to follow your intuition there. Then I'll show you how to do this. You send a proposal that starts the conversation. Once you get into the conversation, you're going to then negotiate the scope of work and the budget. A lot of times clients they don't know what they need. They don't know how much it's going to cost, and they're just putting something up there. So I've done that so many times where they put a budget of $50 or something. We get on a conversation. It turns out that they don't just need a landing page, but they need Facebook ads, and they need the email sequence to follow up. And then now it's a $1,500 project because, another thing is, being an order taker is another thing that a lot of people do. And that's a problem too, because it just comes from, how we're all brought up. Our upbringing is pretty much like, the teacher tells you to do the thing exactly the way you're told. So be a good little student and you do the thing. You get a job, and, your employer tells you this is how you do the thing, and you do the thing, and you get a reward. So it's really, really ingrained in our programming. But you never want to, if someone says, I need a landing page and it's $100, and you come in and you say, okay, and you take the $100 and give them a landing page and then you're done. Like, you could do that, but you're going to miss out on so much opportunity. So you want to dig into their process a little bit. You need to know about, obviously, your, if it's copywriting, if it's graphic design. You need to think about their business a little bit more like it's your own business, and ask questions, and you'll uncover a lot that way. So you can turn a little gig where they said they wanted something for $20 into a retainer position or $1,000 gig. Like, it's honestly just the way you think about it makes a big difference. Okay, so yeah, you guys know the connects, how that works on Upwork. I assume when you go to bid on a gig, you have to pay a certain number of connects, and that's just like money. You have to pay money. It's like 15 cents per connect, right? So a job will ask you for like 8 connects. So that's like whatever that is, less than $1. Or probably about $1. I'm not a math guy. But then there's also this bidding system, which I don't know, it's been there for like a year or two, and it's just another way for them to get connects out of you. But it's, again, if you have the resources, and it's not a lot, 20 connects or something is whatever that is, $2-3 for the gigs that you're applying for. If you're valuing yourself, then it's going to be like a $50 gig, $100 gig, $200-300 gig, whatever it is. It's worth it to spend $2-3 up front. What it does is it guarantees that if you're in these top 3 or 4 places, it guarantees that it's like a paid ad basically for your proposal, puts you on top of their viewing list. It also, again, that perceived value presents you as a professional, because you can spend $2-3 on everyone else is just scraping by trying to do it for no money, and they just end up at the bottom. So it's not completely essential, but it absolutely helps you. Okay, really quickly, clients to run away from. There's a lot of bad clients on Upwork, and they're pretty easy to spot. And as you develop the skill, you can spot them super quickly and just like exit the scene super quickly. And that's a really good skill to have, because if you don't, then you're going to get kind of stuck in doing shitty work and not having fun. So basically, if they ask you to contact them outside of Upwork, that's red flag. Like, oh, here's my WhatsApp group, or you know what I mean? Like anything basically that's not communicating on Upwork. Not only is that an indication of like a sketchy client, but Upwork can like perma ban you from the platform. They have like, bots that scan for people talking about going off the platform. And if they catch you like trying to take clients off the platform, they could just perma ban your account, which obviously you don't want. Let's see. Yeah, but budgets are arbitrary. I'm just checking chat now. Yeah. Yep. Exactly, Michelle. It helps eliminate the spammy gig posting. Right. Yep. Yeah. So see, that's Michelle's talking about from the client side, and I'm going to go into the client side a little bit more because understanding how the clients think is one of the ways that you can really like shortcut your success on Upwork. I've taken people off the platform, but not until after a few clients. Yeah. 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 Keep it close to the chest if you do. Um, yeah, that's all I'll say on that. Okay, moving on. So asking for free work, usually not good. Sometimes if it's like a legit enterprise client and they want you to just put something together for them, and I mean, use your discretion. But if it's like, man, just follow your vibes. I mean, for the most part, it's gonna be correct like 99% of the time. And especially if it's like a lot of work. If they're like, write me 10 emails for free, it's like, no, I'm not doing that. If they have bad reviews, again, I told you you can check the reviews, so check that. If they have unreasonable rates, if they ask you for personal info, social security number or whatever, and most importantly, like if it just doesn't feel right, like honestly, like your vibes are pretty on point, I would imagine. In my experience, they have been anyway. All right, so that's kind of how to use the platform to find gigs that are like not shitty. Okay. I want to show you one other thing. I want to talk about one other thing on here. Just trying to remember. Okay. So again, so this is like your feed. This is your job feed of jobs that you could propose to. The first thing I look at, and you guys probably can't see my mouse cursor, but is payment verified on the bottom. You can see there's like 5 stars. It says payment verified. They've spent 5K. My eyes go there first because again, I want to see somebody who's got good reviews, 5-star reviews, and has spent money on the platform. So that's what I look at first. Um, because a lot of people are just looking at like the hourly, and again, you need to like ignore that completely, and then they may read the gig description, and that's not always a great indicator either of whether it's a good gig. But just I think the most important thing is that payment verified. They've got a history of hiring on the platform. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see. Zipping along here. Please let me know in chat if you guys have any questions along the way. If you want me to elaborate on anything, or yeah. Okay, this is a little like mentality bonus here, and it's called action over everything. I don't even remember what I talk about here. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. This is a really good. This is a metaphor. So the idea is picture there's twins, right? They're identical twins. They're the same person, and they want to learn how to swim. They've never swum. They've never swam before, and they want to go. It's hot summer day, and they want to learn. So what do? Twin one hits the books, right? They're on YouTube. They're backstroke. Michael Phelps's warm up routine, and they're reading about everything. They're really absorbing all this knowledge, and they're um, just training themselves to be like a master swimmer. So they when they're ready to go, they're gonna jump in. And then twin number two, oh wait, sorry. So yeah, so twin number one, who's studied everything, watched the Michael Phelps videos. When they're standing at the edge of the diving board, how confident do you think they'll be that when they jump in the pool, they're going to be fine? Probably not very. Whereas twin number two, instead of studying all that time, just jumped in the pool, right? So they're going to thrash around. They're going to get a feel for the weight of their bodies in the water and like the buoyancy and like getting their balance and all that. They're learning all that in real time. The point is, action is more important than anything else you can do. And this is something that happens a lot, happens with me, is we end up spending so much time studying and wanting to feel ready, right? Like when you're freelancing, when you're on Upwork and you're going to apply for a gig, you want to feel ready. Like, I know exactly how to handle this, right? But that's not the mentality you want. You want to have the mentality of like uncomfortable. You want to always be a little bit uncomfortable, right? Like I remember starting out and, you go to charge somebody $200 for a landing page and you don't really know what you're doing. And then they say, okay, let's give it a shot. And you go, fuck, I'm nervous. Like, I need to deliver this now. I need to figure this out. But that fire, the butterflies in your stomach, that's like fire. And it should motivate you to like, I'm going to get on YouTube. I'm going to look at landing page. I'm going to find, there's so much information out there. Now is the time to get the information, not before. You're never going to be ready. Ask people, connect with people on Facebook. Hey, have you ever done this before? Oh, great. Let me ask you a couple questions. Like, you need to take action. Action will solve all the problems in your life, basically. But when it comes to freelancing success, it's especially true. Only source of knowledge is experience. It's like if you needed somebody to like build fix the foundation of your house, right? And you hire a contractor. Contractor one he's like, oh, I've read all the books. I've, you know what I mean? Like, I know how to do it. I know exactly how to do it. Contractor two is like, I've fixed foundations on 150 houses in your neighborhood. You're like, who are you going to hire? Like the guy who's done it a bunch of times, right? So if you want to be the guy that's done it a bunch of times, you need to do it once, right? You need to start somewhere. Okay, so that's about it. Action over everything. Michelle, the cycle of constantly learning and learning fatigue. Got to apply. Yep. Take action to gain experience and apply it to make sure you understand and figure it out. Yeah. I've like learned over time that I'm the type of person who learns by doing. I'll probably do it like wrong. And that's how I learn. Like you can tell me how to put something together for an hour. None of it sunk in, like not one word, but put me on the floor with the pieces. You know what I mean? Like get into it and I'll figure it out. I'll probably mess it up 5 times, but I'm going to learn. So you can't, and then our brains trick us, right? Like we're thinking, oh, I'm going to watch this 3-hour video and I'm learning. I'm improving I'm upskilling, right? This is good. This is the matrix. I'm downloading like the information, like it's good. Don't not learn, obviously, but don't let it be like a crutch because your brain will trick you into being like, this is great. You're making progress. You're not, you know?
People they don't hire for the amount of, especially in this space. I think that it's a lot of it's trained into like, you go to college and that's how you get your jobs, but that's not how it is in the freelance world. Like it is great and people want to see that you're growth focused and that you're continuing to learn and educate yourself, but not putting in the reps. Like the reps are what people are looking at. They're looking at you actually doing the work, you're learning it. Like I see it all the time as people get so wrapped up in the education, like freeze and don't actually implement it. And you have to just take action, like you're saying, because even imperfect action pushes you forward to be able to land more and more and get those reps under your belt, which is what you need to be landing bigger and bigger clients and projects.
I love that. Yeah. And you ask anybody who's like really good at outreach and landing gigs and stuff, they don't send their resumes to people and say, hey, here's what I do. They go into their business, they find a problem or something they think they can improve, they do it for them, and then they send them an email or like a Loom that's like, hey, I saw your email sequence. I signed up to your email list. Your welcome series is good, but if you add this in email 3 and 4, I think it's going to help. And they're going to be like, hire that motherfucker, like not the person that's, been studying marketing, right? So great point, Michelle. Okay, let's see, where are we? Module 3. This is the big one. I'm going to probably talk a lot about it. And if you have questions, please let me know. This is about proposals, right? So if you've been on Upwork, this is where the funnel stops. This is the choking point for most people. Because, anybody can make a profile and get excited, and then they start sending proposals, and they're not getting answered, and they're getting depressed, and they're getting ghosted and they're losing hope and they're not getting, they're not getting hired. They're not even getting a chance to get hired because the conversation's never starting because they're not writing good proposals. So the way I write proposals is probably the opposite of anyone else you've ever seen. And it's for that reason that it works really fucking well. And I know without being like bragging, but just from experience and confidence, like I can go on Upwork and within like a week or 2 weeks, I can close a client. I can get a conversation started. I can close a deal. I can make some extra money. And when you make that switch, Upwork changes. Something changes where you're not going on there and like dreading it and like, fuck, it's a grind. I got to send proposals. Oh, it's costing all these connects. I'm losing all this money. Upwork becomes like a playground and you can go on and find this sounds really cool. You can find cool shit that lights you up and you're pretty confident that you'll have a decent shot at closing it because your proposals are going to get seen and you're going to get a conversation started. So let me just skip around here. It's been a while since I looked at this, so bear with me. This is just talking about like how it works. The client posts a job, you apply to it, they hire you. In an ideal world, that's great. However, Upwork has 50 million freelancers all applying for the same job. So you need to stand out. And if you can't come in and say like, I've written for Nike and, stuff like that, it's like, that's great if you have social proof, but if you're just starting out, you're not going to have that. So how do you stand out? So what I did, to Michelle's kind of point earlier, is I posted a gig as a client. Okay? Because the better you can understand the client side, the client perspective, the easier it's going to be for you to create proposals that get you noticed. I created this fake gig, and it says, my wife and I are opening a coffee shop called Bubby's Beanery. Bubby is what we call my daughter. And we're looking for some graphic design work. We need a logo and some branding consultation and stuff. Pretty simple. You'll see stuff like this on Upwork, gigs like this. All right. So, and these are the actual proposals that I got, right? So the proposals have, let me see. See what I talk about. Okay, attention important. All right, let's talk about this. This is really important. This is very, very important. This is really important. From the client side, they see, your profile picture, what you do, your rate and all that, any badges you have. They see your cover letter, your proposal, they see these first 2 lines only. Okay? Most people get this completely wrong. They waste these first 2 lines. These 2 lines are where you make your money. This is everything. This is the first domino that has to fall, where the end of the dominoes is you making money, right? If they don't read, if you're trying to write a book and no one's going to read your first sentence, then they'll never read the second sentence and never read the third. So the first sentence has a very important job. This needs to capture the attention of the client and get them to read more at least. Open your proposal and start a conversation with you. So, okay, this person said, Warren, hi, congrats on your start of your coffee shop. I'm the one you've been waiting for. Can you please share details of your shop? Okay. The point is, these are the 2 most valuable lines. So, all right. Okay, so these are the 3 proposal poisons. This is what not to do. This is what a lot of people do and what not to do. Okay, we'll go pretty quickly here. I'm running out of time. Hi, I'm interested in your project and I really enjoy creating your logo and branding. I'm a professional graphic designer who specializes in visual design. Terrible. Why? Because the first 2 lines don't tell me anything. They tell me I'm interested in your project. Well, no shit. You need to have this kind of like, I can be like kind of a dick when I'm helping people with their freelancing because the voice in my head is kind of a dick to me, I guess. It's like tough love, but I'm interested in your project. No shit. You just sent a proposal. What the, I know. And I would really enjoy creating your logo and branding. Again, I don't give a shit if you would enjoy creating my logo. Help me. Tell me something relevant. You have 2 lines. You've already wasted 1.5 with this nonsense. I'm a professional graphic designer. We know it's literally, that's what this platform is. All right, I gotta calm down. I'm sorry. It gets me really heated.
Well, this is something
people all the time too, and I just want to say, because it's really frustrating. It's across the board. Anytime you're making a proposal, you got to remember you're marketing yourself. It's always about the outcome. What's the outcome and the results you're getting for the client? Not about you, not about your story, not about this. How can you help them? How does your expertise and experience help them?
Exactly. Exactly. You need to always be thinking about what's in it for the client and from the client's side. So that's why this is a terrible proposal. So next, all about me, right? So that's exactly what you said, Michelle. Me, me, me. A lot of proposals are me, me, me. Because again, we've been trained through schooling and shit like, oh, it's a resume. This is my resume. So let me just build my case study and talk about my education experience and blah, blah, blah. But no one gives a shit, especially not in those first two lines. The second problem is copy and paste. If you are I mean, this one could fall under that too. If you're sending some people think they hack the system. I'm just going to copy and paste it into that way I'll hit 100 gigs at once. You know, like it's never going to work. It's never going to work. If it's generic looking, it won't get you hired. It needs to be extremely specific. So no copy and paste proposals. What's this one? Oh, full of fluff. Here we go. So something like this you don't want to do either. Again, people think like, oh, you know, I'm going to write a big, long fucking thing and it's going to show that I'm interested. No, it's not. It's greetings, Warren. After reading what you're looking for, we decided to make a work proposal because we have been doing this type of project for the past 12 years and we seek to have a long business relationship. You're looking for experienced hands. What the fuck are you talking about? All right. Sorry, guys. If language, I should have put like a language warning. I apologize.
Oh, good. I tend to do that a lot too. So I'll put a little F-bomb warning on this. But the
Thank you.
beginning of that, just like you said, it was we, I. It's not about you. It's about them and the outcomes that you can deliver.
Absolutely. 100%. So the three proposal cures are basically the opposite of those. Client focused, right? This person did a pretty good job. Hi, let's start by discussing the concept of your coffee shop, shall we? I would like to know more, right? So he's asking about my specific problem. Wow, look at that. And then this person also did that, I think. Hey, congrats to you and your wife on launching and opening Bubby's Beanery. This is a great example of the second problem and cure, which is being generic. This proposal would make no sense on any other gig. And that's what you want. You want it to be specific to the gig. Use the words that are in the gig description. No copy and paste. It has to be the exact opposite of copy and paste. It has to be so hyper specialized. Okay. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. What else? Okay. So this is where I was talking about. So yeah, I posted this fake gig. It had 102 proposals within like a couple hours. And I asked, you know, how many had all three of those things? Client specific, cut the fluff, and whatever. And the answer, spoilers, is 0. None had all three. Some had some elements, but none had all three. So if you do those three things, you're going to stand out. I also applied to my own gig, right, just to show you what I would do. And so let's take a look at the cover letter here. It starts out, I got to ask, who is Bubby? As a coffee enthusiast with graphic design experience, this just feels right. I mean, I'm sipping a mocha latte at this very moment. It must be fate. Tell me more about Bubby and how we can capture blah, blah, blah. So what elements does these two lines have that proposals that get ignored don't have? It's specific. It couldn't be copy paste. It wouldn't make any sense on any other gig. It's also just kind of like uses language that's real. People get into this, like, again, from school and shit. They think they need to, okay, let's go into formal mode. It's time to apply to a gig. So you say, hello, it's my pleasure to blah, blah, blah. Stop. Keep it real. If you want like a super quick like hack to keep in mind when you're writing proposals, pretend you're texting your friend, right? Your friend goes, hey, my dad owns a big construction business and they're looking for graphic design. What would you write them back? You'd be like, whoa, this sounds really cool. I can do that. Like, that's kind of how you want to talk in these things. And the reason it helps you is, number one, it's like very real, especially now with AI and all that shit. You know, it needs to be anti-AI. And number two, I forget what number 2 is, but yeah, just just be super real. It just makes you like it's a real person and you stand out against all those people. Oh, that's what it was. You stand out against everybody who's doing the formal stuff.
It's very humanizing, like you said, like don't be like AI. And it's about building relationships with people, getting them to like see you as an actual person, somebody they want to work with, and somebody that they would be interested in talking to and having actual conversation and stuff with. And the
That
high
leads Brent.
is not part of that.
The what?
The hi, sir, ma'am. I hope you're
Oh, right,
having a
right,
lovely day. All those,
right. Hmm.
pleasantries that are just like you said, taking up those first two lines are not a part of that. Like standing out, building that relationship, and being humanizing is really important.
100%. And that leads like pretty perfectly into this next slide, which talks about, again, be conversational, be likable. And it says unique, but I really think it's important to be yourself in these things because, again, I think when it comes time to like propose, like send a cover letter or something for a job, you get into like this professional mode, and it's like, don't say anything that might offend them, don't make any, inappropriate jokes and stuff. Which I mean, it's up to you. But the more you can be your authentic self, you're going to attract people that vibe with you, right? And you're also going to repel people that you're not going to vibe with. And you don't want to work with people you're not going to vibe with. It seems super like simple, but it took me a long time to figure this out. Is the more you can be yourself, like I'm cursing on this shit and like not everybody's going to like that, and that's cool. But like, that's just, yeah. So if you have a client who's like super uptight and conservative and doesn't like to, no cursing, no joking around, like if you probably don't want to work with them, right? So you need to be your authentic self right out of the gate, and then they're not going to be interested in you. But on the same token, if yourself and you show some of your personality in these proposals, then people are going to be like, oh, I vibe with this person, and then you're going to end up working with clients who are awesome and like pay you well and like are easy to work with. Like that's what you want. So I guess it's just about people pleasing and like stop trying to please everyone. Just be yourself, loosen up a little, make a joke in here, talk about something from your life, like talk about your cat or some shit. Like again, it's the anti-AI stuff. Okay. Connects and boosting. We talked about that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like just talking too much. We're running out of time. I hope this is valuable for you. I want to talk about a little more about proposals here. This is my proposal formula that's crushed it for me, still crushes it for me. And this is a part of a program that I sell for like $150. Just this proposal formula. And I'm gonna give it to you right now, the whole thing, okay? Let me share this screen instead of this screen. Okay. Can you guys see the ISVA it says? Okay, ISVA. This is a proposal formula. It's really strong. It's really strong. Let's jump ahead. So this is ISVA. You can see this proposal. It's super short, super conversational, and I send these all the time. And I close gigs that are $2,000, $3,000, ongoing client work for 6 months, $28,000 over time, whatever. You know what I mean? Like this is the exact thing that I do. The I stands for introduction. Real brief. Hey, I'm Warren. Hey, I'm Catherine. Hey, I'm Anand. S stands for specificity, right? Again, we're talking about the anti copy paste. I develop landing pages. It's my favorite project type. I think I probably skipped the part where I actually show the gig description, but it was about landing pages, just for some context. V stands for value, right? So you add a little bit of value in here. This is a personal site I wrote the copy for and helped develop, and so I'm showing them something that I've done and it's valuable to them. This doesn't have to be like an example or like a portfolio piece, but you have to do a little bit of work. You have to do a little bit of work, right? They're telling you what they need. Do some of it and present it to them in the proposal, right? That has multiple it does multiple psychological things in your favor, let's say. And then A, this one, Super, super, super important. I mean, this one is so good. A is for ask a question, right? And I'm going to talk about why that's so good. Asking a good question can be more powerful than any kind of social proof, right? If you can ask a good question, you can demonstrate your value in that one question, right? It's like if you go talk to an expert about something and they just ask you a really good question, you're like, it just literally like, I don't know how to explain it properly, but it's so good for you. It's so good for you. So
Well, it looks good
the
to them, like, because you're interested in what they are talking about and like what their company is, but you're also able to ask like valuable questions that are insightful to them, but also show that you have knowledge about the project and what they're asking for. So don't ask
Mhm.
a dumb question. Like some people ask too many of the same like reiterated or dumb questions just to ask questions. Don't do that. But ask questions that are value based that support your knowledge, your experience, your expertise, and let them see that through your questions. But also so that you get what you need to create the project like right away. Like don't pussyfoot around it, let's say, because
Mhm.
you don't want to drag it out. You don't want to not get everything that you need and do an excellent job the first time around. So
Yeah, and again, exactly right. And it really leads me into the next part, um, which is yes, it demonstrates your value. Here's the one like shortcut you can use like because the next question is like, all right, how do I know what question to ask? Right? Here's a good shortcut. Imagine you already got hired for the gig, right? Imagine they already hired you. You're hired. Boop, contract signed, $1,000. You're hired. What question do you ask them now? Ask them that question in the proposal. So that's really powerful because again, it's future pacing that you're working together. It's like assuming you're working together already. You're gonna come up with a relevant question because okay, it's time to go. There's this gig. I got hired. It's go time. I got to figure this out. It's for an ecom landing page. I'm not super familiar with them. Let me do some research. So you check out an ecom landing page tutorial, and oh, you recognize something about how you have to write for your target audience and write emotionally. And so you make your question like, have you pinpointed the target audience's like core emotion yet? Boom, there you go. The other cool thing that this does, and this is kind of a like what's it called, sociological thing, psychological and sociological, is when you end, and this is like such an important distinction. End with the question. Don't put a sign off. This is where people get it a lot wrong. People that have gone through the ISVA program, they get it wrong because they'll say, blah, blah, blah. Great question. Hope to hear from you soon. Anand. And it's just a completely different vibe because when you end with the question, it leaves they're conditioned to respond. If you're walking down the street and someone says, hey, do you know what time it is? You're going to go, yeah, it's 2 o'clock, or no, get away from me, or whatever. But you're probably not going to just say nothing. So by leaving it there, it kind of creates an open loop, right? It's just like and it's usually not conscious. They're not thinking like, oh, they asked me a question. I should respond. It's just like a bad feeling that they get because there's this question is hanging out there in the universe. So they're way more likely to respond to you. Isn't that cool? But when you say, hey, what's your timeline for this? Thank you very much. Hope to hear from you soon. You feel how it just kind of closes the conversation, right? So that's super powerful and super important that you end it with the question. Because I think these are just like examples of, again, the kind of proposals that land me big gigs. Super short, even the spacing I want you to copy, right? It's super easy to read and scan. Like people sometimes send like blocks of text, and that's not fun. So this one just says, "Hey, I'm Warren. Boy, you've got a lot of proposals to sort through. This is for ones where there's like 50 proposals, and you're like, I'm not going to apply to that. There's 50 proposals, but what you don't realize is all 50 proposals are garbage, and they're AI, and like they're like literally." begging for a proposal like this. They want human proposals so bad. They're going to jump on it if it's easy to read, it sounds like a text message, and it's a real person, and it's relevant to their posting, and can't be copy and paste, right? Like, making websites clear, emotional, and compelling is what I do. Can you tell me a bit more about your goals for the site? Are you trying to sell a product or promote an idea? Send. No sign off. Yeah. So what else? Okay, this is just like some Q&A that I did at the time. Okay, so let's end it there. I mean, I could talk for another hour probably, because the biggest hurdle is the proposals and getting your gig noticed, getting your proposal opened, starting that conversation. Once you do that, then there's stuff that you could learn about negotiation at that point. You have to figure out how to close the deal, deliver the work. There's ways that you can guarantee you get good feedback. There's important things about, one more thing I will talk about for a couple minutes, just because it's so important. Let me just see. I think I have,
If you guys have any questions in the meantime, start dropping them in the chat so we can ask those at the end if Warren has a little extra time.
Yes, absolutely. Drop it in chat. Okay. Yeah, this is it. I want to talk about this. Let me go back to share my screen. All right, cool. All right, you guys can see the scope screen. Okay. So, scope. Super, super, super important. Scope is what you're going to do and when you're going to do it at its most basic level. That's what project scope is. I tell a quick story here about a freelancer I was working with, and he said, Warren, I got a problem. I've been working with this guy for almost a month, and I'm afraid to send my invoice. I'm afraid to tell him how much he owes me. I'm like, okay, that's strange. What, how, why? And he's like, well,
Warren, I actually hit a wrong button. I muted you. We lost you at well. That's my bad. Sorry.
oh no, you're good. So where did I
What did
mentioned?
he
Okay,
say?
so
What did he say? We lost you right when it was like, well,
well,
saying what he said. I'm sorry, man.
it's cool. So yeah, so scope. So the freelancer said, I got a problem. I've been working with this client for like a month, and I'm afraid to send him my bill. I'm afraid to tell him how much it is. It's a lot. It's like $2,300. I'm like, okay, why is that weird? Why can't you send it? He's like, well, we never really like discussed my payment, like the hourly. We never really talked about that. I'm like, what? Like, that's before you do anything. I mean, I get it. People get excited, and you got somebody who's about to hire you, and you're like, fuck, yes, finally, let's just go forward. Let's just do it. But you have to take the time to develop your scope, right? It's so important for a few reasons, which I'll talk about. Exactly, that is number one, where you end up working for a bunch of hours, and then you're like, oh, can I get paid now? It's $3,000, and they're like, well, we didn't agree to that. Blah, blah, blah. So that's a big problem you want to avoid. The other problem is what's called scope creep. Scope creep happens all the time. It looks like this. They hire you to write some emails, right? And because you've never like established the scope, you're just like, cool, some emails for $50, I'm in. And then you write them and you go, here's your emails. And they go, oh, cool. Can you just like rewrite a few? Yeah, no problem. I'll rewrite a few. Great. We need a few more actually, because our plans changed. We're going to need two more on the end of this welcome series. You're like, okay, fine. Two more for the end of the welcome series. All good. Now they're like, okay, we need even more. And now you're getting pissed off. And it's still only $50 that they owe you. And then at the end of all this, you go, hey, this has been like bullshit. Like this is too much work for $50. And then they go, well, fuck you. And they give you a bad review. And now everyone's miserable, right? because you never established scope in the first place. You need to tell them exactly what you're going to do, exactly when you're going to do it. The other reason that's good is there's no way for you to over deliver if you don't establish what you're delivering in the first place, right? Over delivering is such a powerful thing, and it doesn't have to be a lot. It's like you buy a dozen cupcakes and they give you one extra, right? It's not a big deal, but it's hugely impactful. And I encourage you to do that with everyone you work with. It's a great way to build like an amazing reputation. But if you don't establish that I'm giving you 12 cupcakes, then it doesn't mean anything when you get 13. If I just say I'm going to give you some cupcakes and I give you 13, you're going to go, cool, thanks for 13 cupcakes, right? But if I say I'm going to give you 10 and then I give you 13, you're going to go, holy shit, right? Like, so it's so important to not just to avoid the negatives of scope creep and all that, but to it just you'll never be able to like go above and beyond if you don't establish it. So that's it.
Yeah, that's huge. And the other thing, like when scope creep does start happening, like just, you can reference back, hey, this is the scope, this is the timeline. If you want that, yeah, absolutely. This is what the extra charge is. Like this is an extra rate. It's super important to always have the scope, the timelines. I also like to add in your communication style, like Upwork. It's clear it's on Upwork. But if you don't add it in, like if you're doing just a standard proposal, you might get Messenger, Slack, email, phone calls, like a million things, and added to daily meetings or who knows what. So just be super clear about your communication, your timelines, exactly what's in it and what it's going to cost them and when they're going to be billed for that.
Yep. And all those little things, they're small kind of like housekeeping things that don't seem like much, but they're super important. And not only that, but they make you look way more professional. It's just by asking those questions. And I could talk for way longer again, just on like the power shifts, right? The power dynamic and stuff, because most people come into these things in the subservient energy and they're like, please hire me, I'll do whatever you want, right? But if you flip this script and you look at it as like, do I want to work with you? Do I, the freelancer, want to work with you? And so you start questioning and being like, is this person professional? Is this something I really want to do? And being willing to walk away for no, you know what I mean? Just vibes are off and you're like, you know what? I don't think, I'm going to proceed. Right. That kind of power shift is a whole nother call, but thanks, Anand. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here. But yeah.
Yeah, being desperate comes out in messaging and in your proposals and your conversations, and it pushes people away. Just like dating pushes them away, it's gonna do too. So just little things there. And so the more clear you can be upfront with them, the better it is and easier it is for them, because you want to make it easy on them to work with you, because that's a huge reason. A lot of people will work with somebody who is, there's three things. There's like, easy to work with, there's like highly skilled, and then really enjoy them or something like that. And they're going to work with somebody who's easy to work with and they really enjoy, but maybe has a lower skill set than somebody who misses deadlines and is like top of the list, but like they miss deadlines, they're a pain in the ass, they're jerks to the team. Like that person gets cut off before the person who maybe has less skill that can be developed over those things. So just being super clear and professional in your communications with them shows all that, and not acting desperate.
Yeah,
so
100%.
This has been awesome. This has been really awesome, Warren. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for letting me speak to your community a little bit today.
Yeah, this has been really cool. And I know Catherine had asked a question, will we get a copy of the PowerPoint slides? Just so you know, that was actually a view of Warren's program. So he has a whole program where he dives into the details of everything he talked about just now, but all like of getting proposals seen, but also the negotiations, the closing of the deals, the delivery of the work, how to get good feedback, and all the other details. So that full program is something you can connect with Warren about. And then the recording of this, he's been kind enough to let us leave it in the group for about a month. So you can come back and watch this recording. And then if you want to connect to him, I'll make sure he's tagged in the post for the review too.
Yeah, for you guys who are here on the call, I'll send you both trainings for free. and then like the full trainings. And then for anybody else, they'll just have to watch the call recording. So just hit me up on Facebook, and I'll send it to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Warren. I really appreciate it. I've learned a lot. And what Avinash said, he took a ton of notes. I can see Catherine taking notes too. And I, of course, wrote down a whole bunch of stuff. So it was really helpful and valuable. I appreciate you sharing all this with us. So
Absolutely. My great pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
It's been great. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for being here. Hope you all have a great rest of your day.